More declassified FBI memos have revealed former President Obama's DOJ allegedly ordered FBI agents to shut down an investigation into whether there was any advantages or favors given to foreign officials or really anyone in exchange for donations to the Clinton Foundation when Hillary Clinton was then Secretary of State. President of the Government Accountability Institute and New York Times bestselling author Peter Schweizer has spent years investigating America's top elected leaders and the money trail it often follows. His 2015 book titled Clinton Cash, The Untold Story of How and Why Foreign Governments and Businesses Helped Make Bill and Hillary Rich, looked into any alleged connections between the Clinton Foundation donors and Hillary Clinton's work at the State Department. And Peter joins us this morning with more on this. Great to see you. And I want to revisit that book. But first, I got to talk to you about this memo from 2016 that we finally saw, that was finally declassified. You said this was not just a smoking gun, but it was the whole arsenal. What went through your mind with this latest discovery?
Yeah, it was pretty shocking. I mean, look, in 2015, I published the book. The New York Times and Washington Post ran stories confirming some of our findings. And the FBI launched an investigation. In fact, 4 FBI field offices did so: Little Rock, Arkansas, New York, Boston, and then their office in Nigeria. And they reached out to me, the field agents. This was sort of their organic investigation. And then the investigation just stopped in 2016. And I didn't really know why. I was on the outside looking in. So this memo shows specifically that the book is what triggered the investigation. The field offices were making progress. And then HQ, Sally Yates in particular, said, shut it down. We're not going to investigate this.
Now, here's what we do know that has been disclosed by the Clintons themselves. When Bill Clinton ended his presidency in 2000, we know they owed millions in legal fees. Hillary Clinton, in an interview, told Diane Sawyer, "We came out of the White House not only dead broke, but in debt." In the years that followed, Peter, until 2014, they earned more than $230 million. Where did this money come from?
Yeah, a lot of it came from overseas. It came from foreign governments. It came from foreign oligarchs. And one of the things that I did in the book was look at the pattern. When they received money, what else was going on? In the early part of that period, Hillary Clinton was in the U.S. Senate. And there's a lot of correspondence between the people that were paying Bill Clinton speaking fees, donating to the foundation, and official direction she was taking in the Senate. It exploded when she became Secretary of State, America's chief diplomat. So the issue was always the link between the official duties that Hillary Clinton had, the access and favors that people were getting. Those same people were sending the Clintons millions of dollars through either speaking fees directly to Bill's pocket or to the Clinton Foundation itself.
And, you know, you talked about your book focusing on these donations from these foreign governments, foreign entities. The big question, was there any quid pro quo?
Yeah, so the legal definition clearly is, can you link the two? I was able to show a really widespread pattern. What the FBI, I think, was trying to do was establish the quid pro quo, because, of course, I don't have subpoena power. I don't have the ability to question people. That's what they were looking into. And we know that the Nigeria office, this has been now since reported by the Wall Street Journal, the Nigeria office had phone-tapped interviews with Nigerian officials saying that they had donated to the Clinton Foundation and they were getting favors in return. So they were making progress, moving towards quid pro quo and further evidence, but of course the investigation was shut down.
I got to tell you about a Forbes article I pulled up this morning from 2015 stating, quote, "Since Bill and Hillary Clinton left the White House in 2001, they've earned more than $230 million, but in federal filings, the Clintons claim they are worth somewhere between $11 million and $53 million. After layering years of disclosures on top of annual tax returns, Forbes estimates their combined net worth at $45 million. Where did all of the money go? No one seems to know, and the Clintons aren't offering any answers." And I think the reason why this is like such a stark question at this point is because there was no further investigations into this. What's your thoughts about this?
Yeah, no, I think you're exactly right. And this is one of the frustrations people have about are elected officials held into account? And I think in the particular case of the Clintons, they started this pattern of what I call globalized corruption. I mean, we've had corruption throughout American political history. The Clintons were the first ones to take it global, to take money from Russian oligarchs, from Russian government officials, from Ukrainians, from Chinese. These are people that want favors from powerful American officials. They're very corrupt political systems, and that makes it more daunting and more challenging. It also makes it easier for American elected officials to hide money, potentially in overseas bank accounts, et cetera. So we've got to get a handle on this globalized corruption. It's a bipartisan problem. I think the Clintons were the ones that really kicked it off on a massive scale.
Do you think this is going to open this investigation wide open now that we've seen this declassified memo from the FBI?
I sure hope they are. I mean, one of the challenges, and of course I always say I'm not a lawyer, is that there are the statute of limitations. So if they committed a crime in 2014, it may have extended past the statute of limitations. That's why the FBI investigation at the time was so important, because if they'd found the evidence, they could certainly prosecute then.
All right, we will follow it with you. President of the Government Accountability Institute and New York Times bestselling author Peter Schweizer, thanks for your time and for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Jan.